Right. In this video, we're going to discuss about the miscellaneous topic. Miscellaneous topic carries around 8 to 12 marks. Minimum 2 questions will come, or else sometimes 3 questions, or else sometimes 1 question. Mostly 4 to 12 marks. The average is 8 marks. Minimum is 4, maximum is 12. Right. We'll divide this chapter into 4 categories and we'll learn this chapter. Right. And coming to the categories we are going to divide is the first category is the removal of name of the companies, and second one is the Nidhi rules, the Nidhi company relating rules and its section, and the third one is the registered valuer and its particular rules, and others miscellaneous topic. And in others, the main topics are government company, special codes, dormant company. Right? And coming to our first topic, that is removal of name of the companies. Right? This consists of section 248 to 252. Right? We'll discuss one by one. And coming to the sections are 248, 249, 250, 251, 252. The 248 is the power of register to remove the name of the company from the register of companies, and 249 is restriction on the name on making application under the section 248, and 250 is the effect of company notified as dissolved, and 251 is the fraudulent application for removal of name, and 252 is appeal to tribunal. Coming to 248, we have divided 248 into two categories, 248 1 and 248 2. 248 subsection 1 is the power of the register for the removal of the name of the company suo moto, means it can remove by it on its own. And coming to the next one is that is 248.2, removal of name of the company by register on application made by the company. Coming to 248.1, in 4 cases, the register has reasonable ground to believe that if these 4 cases are satisfied, any one case is satisfied, then the registrar will go for suo moto removal of name of the companies. What are the 4 categories? First one is the business not commenced within 1 year of incorporation, means the business has not company has been incorporated, but no business has been taken place within 1 year of incorporation, then that is a reason for removal of name. And coming to the second reason is company is not carrying any business for preceding 2 years, and no application made under section 455 for obtaining status of dormant company. What is this? See, both the 1 and 2 points look similar, but they are not similar. 1 is on the date of incorporation, 2 is already incorporation has been done and it started some business, and within preceding 2 previous year it has not carrying any business, and also it has not applied for status of dormant. That is second case. And third case is subscribers to memorandum of association have not paid a subscription which they have undertook to pay at the time of the incorporation of company, and a declaration to this effect has not been filed within 180 days of incorporation of the company, and section 10A. That is, the subscribers of memorandum has to pay some amount, right, for the subscription amount. That amount has been not paid, and also a declaration to this effect that this amount has not paid. Also, the declaration also not filed, right. This is the third reason. Fourth reason, the company is not carrying any business or operation as revealed after physical verification under section 12. Means physical verification has been conducted by some authority, and such authority has noticed that the company is not carrying any business or operations as per section 12. Then also this is the fourth reason for removal of name of the company suo moto by the registrar. Right? If you observe carefully, in the 4 reasons, negation is used, means the negative term is used. Business not commenced, company not carrying business, no application, no not paid subscription, no declaration, not carrying business. That is very important. They can trick you with removing the negation by copy pasting the same words, right? And coming to that next one, after that, this is 4 case. What if any case has been found out? What the register will do? The register will issue a notice to the company and all directors. They will issue show cause notice. Means notice stating that his intention to remove the name of the company from the register of companies. Right, and this registrar also will issue this notice to in the official gazette also, because all other members of the company shall know about this. And coming to that next, after receiving the notice, this company and all the directors will make their representation within 30 days from the date of receipt of that notice. Right, what will first the register will notice to the company and all directors, and also it will issue the notice in the official gazette, and after that the company and the directors will make the representation within 30 days from the date of receipt of notice. Right, and coming to 248.2, removal of name of the company by the register on receipt of application. The company, in certain cases, the company will file application to the register for removal of name. What are the cases and the conditions for making such application? The first condition is the ground is same. The ground, the all 4 points we have discussed 248, the same 4 points will be the grounds. And also the company should extinguish all its liability. Means the company cancel a debt. Extinguishment means cancel a debt by full payment. Means the company shall be paid its entire debt. And the next condition is if the company is a banking company, insurance company, it has to take approval from the regulatory body, that is banking regulation means we have to take from RBI, and insurance means IRDA, we have to take the special act. And the next condition is it has to pass special resolution, or members holding 70% of the paid up capital have consented for the same for applying the application to the registrar for removal of name. There are four conditions. What are the four conditions? The first one is same grounds for four grounds as we discussed in 248.1, and approval of regulatory authority, and it should be extinguished all its liabilities. SR or 70% of the paid up capital have consented. Right. In that case, it shall that registrar will issue public notice, right? The same like the public notice will be discussed, will be disclosed in official gazette also, right? In 248.2, one exception is there, that nothing contained in this section check that 248 subsection 2 will apply to section 8 companies. It means that section 8 company cannot file to the registrar for removal of its own name. Right. After that, this 248.1 and 248.2 notice has been issued and everything has been done. Then how the removal of the name of the company will be taken place by the RBI, right? Conditions for this order of removal of name of company. So there are four conditions are there. The company fails to show cause against the proposed removal, means we have issued notice to the company, right? That company failed to show the reasons for not removing the name of the company, then it can be removed. And the time mentioned in the notice has expired, means the time mentioned is within 30 days we have to reply, or within some specified date we have to reply. That company doesn't reply, then also the register will remove the name of the company. And also there is one important point, that is 248 subsection 6 will say, that is sufficient provision, that the register shall be satisfied that sufficient provision has been created for two things, for realization of amounts due to the company, as well as the discharge of liabilities of the company. Means whatever the amount the company want to receive, for that also sufficient provisions has been made, and whatever the company wants to pay to the outsiders, for that also sufficient provision has been made. Then only the register will remove the name of the company. And also for this 248 subsection 6, the register can take an undertaking from the directors or any of the person manager of the company. For that undertaking means they can sell the assets even after removing the name of the company from the registers. They can sell the asset and discharge the liabilities. This question has been tested in previous attempt, right? And coming to the next one, in this case, after the order has been passed, the register will strike off the name of the company, the register of companies, and the register will also publish a notice in the official gazette. And from the date of publication in the official gazette, that the company stands dissolved, right? And coming to the effect of removal of name of the company from the register of companies, what is the effect? We have already discussed in 248.6, the assets of the company is still available for the discharge of its liabilities. That is one effect. And liabilities of directors, managers, and other officer members continue as if the company had not been dissolved. If any liability is there towards the directors, manager, or other officers, it shall be continued. And also one more important point is the power of tribunal to wind up the company is not affected. Even though the company name has been struck off from the register of companies, then also the tribunal has the power to order for winding up. This is because at the time of after striking of the name, dissolution will take place. After the dissolution, the amount shall be realized, right? There will be some huge amount of realizations will be there, and also a discharging of liabilities, huge amount will be there. For that, any one authority shall be there for authorizing that payments, like our company liquidator. Then, in that case, if the tribunal thinks fit, it can take up the case and it can issue for order of winding up, right? This is an important point. Power of tribunal of winding up is not affected, even if after the register has struck the name of the company, right? That is one case. And coming to the 249, restrictions on making application under section 248 in certain situations. Cases in which the applications under section 248 subsection 2 cannot be made. There are cases which the application cannot be made as follows. No application can be made under section 248 subsection 2 if during the preceding 3 months the name of the company has been changed, or the register office are shifted from one state to another state. We have to be careful here. The registered office has been shifted from one state to another state. They may trick with that the registered office has been changed from one city to another city within the same state. Then the application can be filed. That is not a contravention, and that is not a non-applicability condition. And next condition, the property of the company is disposed of immediately after the cessor of the trade or carrying on business. The property has been disposed immediately. Then the company is being wound up under Chapter 20 of our Companies Act, and IBC code 2016 if the company is being owned up under this chapter, or the company is under CRP process under section IBC code 2016, then also no application can be filed. And also application made out to the tribunal for sanctioning compromise arrangement but not finally concluded, means application had been made but the decision is still pending. In these cases, no application shall be filed under section 248 subsection 2. And one more case is like any activity carried on except which is required for, means they're carrying any activity except these activities. If they carry these exception activities, then they can file for application. What are the exception activities? Making application under section 248 2. They're making application, then it's fine. And complying the statutory requirements, then also it's fine. And concluding the affairs of the company, if any affairs of the company is pending, they're concluding those affairs, then also it's fine. Right? These are the cases in which the application cannot be filed in section 248 subsection. What are the cases? Name change, register office change from one state to another state, property disposed immediately after the cessor of the trade, and company is being owned up, and that is under chapter 20 or IBC code. And also application made for compromise arrangement, it is still pending. And making any activity except for making application this activity or complying the statutory requirements or concluding the affairs of the company, right? This is 249. Even if there is contravention of this section and the company has filed the application, then the penalty will be 1 lakh. That is, fine will be up to 1 lakh. And also the company shall withdraw the application as soon as the contravention comes to the notice of the registrar. Means this contravention has to come to the notice of the registrar. Then the company shall withdraw the application, and also the registrar will reject the application as soon as it comes to the notice of the registrar. Right? And coming to our next section, that is section 240. Effect of a company notified as dissolved. What is the effect? This is very small section. The effect is divided into 4 categories. The company ceased to operate as a company, and certificate of incorporation shall be deemed to have been cancelled. Means the company is not a company, that the COI is cancelled. But also there is an exception. Even the company is not to operate as a company, even though CO corporate certificate of incorporation is cancelled, then also what are the amounts due to the company can be realized, and also what are the amounts payable by the company has to be paid. That is, realization of amounts due to the company possible, and also discharge of liabilities of the company is not affected. Right? And coming to the fraudulent application for removal of name, under section 241, this is like if any company has making fraudulent application, means for removal of its name for the following things: for evading liabilities or deceiving the creditors or defrauding any other person, then it is a fraudulent application. What is the liability of this fraudulent application? We'll see. The person in charge of the management jointly and severally liable towards any person who has covered any loss or damage because of this application. Means the person in charge of the management jointly and severally liable for this any loss caused to any person. And also the person in charge of the management is punishable for fraud under section 447. One of the important sections, penalty sections, 447, fraud penalty. And also the registrar may recommend for these persons who have made that application voluntarily for prosecution. The registrar may recommend for prosecution of the persons responsible for making application under section 248 subsection 2. The application, see what is 251 fraudulent application, in which ways? 3 ways: evading liabilities, deceiving creditors, defrauding any other person. Right? What is prosecution? Prosecution is like institution and conducting of legal proceedings against someone in respect of a criminal charge. That is prosecution, right? And coming to next, our last section, that is 252. This 250 section, I have already made a video on YouTube. I'll give the description. I will give the link of the video in the description and also in the comment section. Please watch there. That's all. Our first topic, that is removal of name of the companies, has been completed. Next one, we will go into our Nidhi rules and section 406. Right? Right, and coming to the Nidhi rules, the main section is section 406, and the rules are Nidhi rules 2014 and Nidhi rules amendment rules 2019 and companies miscellaneous rules 2014. Right, only 3: section 406 and Nidhi rules 2014 and Nidhi rules amendment rules 2019. And coming to this main section 406. Section 406 defines a Nidhi or mutual benefit society as a company which is notified as a Nidhi or mutual benefit by the central government. It should be notified to the central government as Nidhi or mutual benefit. And also the central government, if it deems fit, like if deems fit, like things that any company shall be granted exemption, or any company shall be granted exemption in certain notifications, urgent modifications, right? The central government notification exemption to Nidhi company, any of the provisions of this act shall not apply. Means if any Nidhi company is there, this particular act shall not apply to the Nidhi company, or such other modifications for applicability can be granted by the central government in passing notice in the official gazette, right? This is a 406. And coming to the provisions relating in the Nidhi Rules 2014, what is the definition has are mutual benefit society in Nidhi rules? The definition is the main objective is to cultivate a habit of thrift saving among its members, and the main purpose is for lending and the loans and accepting deposits from only members. This is Nidhi and mutual benefit company. What application of Nidhi rules? For which Nidhi company is this Nidhi rules 2014 will be applicable? There are four types. That is, every company declared as a Nidhi or mutual benefit society under Section 620A of the Companies Act 1956. Means every company which is declared as a Nidhi under the previous act, or any company declared as a Nidhi under this act, that is under Section 406, or any company which is incorporated under this section, that is Section 406, or any company which is on the lines of a Nidhi or mutual benefit society but has either not applied for or has applied for, but it is awaiting for notification to be Nidhi or mutual benefit society under Section 620 of the Companies Act 1956. What are the four parties? It is declared as a Nidhi under old act, that is 1956 act, or it has declared as a Nidhi under new act, that is 406 section, or it has incorporated directly in under Section 406, or it is on the lines with the Nidhi or mutual benefit, but it has not applied for the Nidhi, and also it has applied and awaiting for notification. For these four types of the Nidhi, rules will apply. And coming to the notification of a company as a Nidhi, when the company will be notified as a Nidhi, for that the company has to make an application to the central government in NDB4. For application for notifying as a Nidhi company, the form is NDB4. The central government shall notify the company as a Nidhi if it satisfies the company meets the requirements of these rules. And then the central government, if it thinks that Nidhi is satisfying the rules of this particular thing, then it can notify this company as Nidhi. And coming to one important thing, our amendment rule 2019 has come, and in that one important point is there, like a declaration has to be filed by the Nidhi companies in NDH4. If they did not file the declaration, there is a consequence. Consequence is like they cannot file, they shall not be allowed to file SH7, form number SH7 and form number PAS3. SH7 is relating to the alteration of share capital, and PAS3 is a return of allotment, right? If this company in the new rule, that is new amendment rules 2019, did not file, that is NDH4, then they cannot be allowed to file SH7 and PAS3, that is alteration of share capital and return of allotment. For this, we have classified the companies under three categories. Like, what are the companies on or after these rules has come, and also before these rules, and also the Nidhi companies has registered under old act. Coming to this first one, on or after. If any Nidhi is incorporated on or after the commencement of this Nidhi rules amendment to 2019, then it has to file NDH4 within certain limit has been specified. The limit is to be filed within 60 days from the date of expiry of 1 year from the date of its incorporation, or the period up to which the extension of time has been granted by the regional director under Rule 53. Here our boss is regional director. For the companies which have been incorporated on or after the commencement of these rules, it shall be filed within 60 days from the date of expiry of 1 year, or such other period mentioned by the regional director. Right? This is on or after. And coming to before their applicability is two companies are there. Every company functioning on the lines, same we have discussed in our Nidhi applicable rules. Every company applicable on the lines for Nidhi or mutual benefit has not applied for, or if applied, awaiting for notification, right? That company, and every Nidhi company incorporated before the commencement of this rules 2019, then the time limit for filing that NDH4 is within the time period allowed is 1 year from the date of incorporation, or within period of 6 months from the date of commencement of this Nidhi Amendment Rules 2019, right? Whichever is later. Means if it is the company is before this commencement of rules, then it has to file 1 year from the date of incorporation, or within 6 months from the date of commencement of this Nidhi Amendment Rules 2019, whichever is later. the commencement date of Nidhi rules is 15th August 2019. We have already seen one more thing, like in our another act, that is IBC code 16th August 2019, that is for extension of 30 days plus further 90 days extension will be given, right? That is that period we can just easily remember like that. 15th August of 2019. The time period here is 1 year from the date of incorporation or within period of 6 months from the date of commencement, whichever is later. Consequence we already know, it cannot be allowed to file HS7 and PAS3. And coming to this company registered under Old Act, filing by whom companies declared as needy or mutual benefit society under Section Old Act, it has to be filed within 6 months of the commencement of these rules, right? This thing on or after and before Old Act, on or after the time period for filing of NDH4 is within to be filed within 60 days from the date of expiry of 1 year from the date of incorporation or such further period given by the regional director. If it is before, within 1 year from the date of incorporation or within 6 months from the date of commencement of this act, whichever is later. Or if it is under Old Act, within 6 months of commencement of this Nidhi Amendment Rules 2019, right? And coming to next one is our incorporation and incidental matters. What is the Nidhi company shall be a public company, and the paid up capital of the Nidhi company shall be 5 lakhs or more, and the Nidhi company shall only consist of equity shares only, and part of the Nidhi company, in the name of the Nidhi company, the Nidhi Limited shall be added, right? The Nidhi Limited shall be added. One more important thing is, if any before that Nidhi company being notified as a Nidhi company, then any preferential shares has been issued. After notifying it as a Nidhi company, then such preferential shares shall be redeemed. What is that? It shall be public company and the paid up capital is 5 lakhs or more, and it shall only consist of equity shares. In the name, it shall be Nidhi Limited shall be added as prefix, right? And coming to the next one, the general restrictions and prohibitions available to Nidhi. What Nidhi company cannot do, what are the restrictions imposed by the government, and what Nidhi company is prohibited to do, right? We'll see the business prohibited. What are the business prohibited by the Nidhi company? For that we have a shortcut, like China. In that China, replace N with L, China. That C is chit funds and H is hire purchase finance, L is leasing finance, I is insurance, A is acquisition of securities. What are the business prohibited? China, chit funds, hire purchase finance, insurance, leasing finance, acquisition of securities. And the issue of securities is prohibited. We already discussed that its capital shall consider only of equity shares. Then it shall not constitute of preference shares, debentures, or any other debt instruments the company cannot issue. It shall consist only equity. And coming to the next one, what are the business permitted? The business permitted is borrowing and lending. We have discussed borrowing and lending only to the members. Borrowing to the members, lending from the members, right? And next one is one more ancillary business is granted here, but with an exception, that is the locker facility to the members with a condition that the rental income from that particular local facility is less than 20% of the gross income. That income received from the locker facilities provided by the Nidhi company to the members shall be less than or equal to 20%. If it is more than 20%, then such business is not permitted. And coming to other prohibitions, some other prohibitions has also been done. What are the prohibitions? For that other prohibitions, we have a shortcut. You remember like PGBP, replace G with A, PABP. Instead of PGBP, we are doing PABP. Right? Other prohibitions, that is, the Nidhi company entered into partnership in its borrowing or lending activities. It cannot enter into partnership. And also advertisement for soliciting business, PA. It cannot do for advertisement for soliciting it business, right? And also payment of brokerage for mobilizing deposits or granting notes, that is B. It can payment of brokerage, it cannot pay brokerage to the agents for mobilizing deposits, right? That also is not permitted. And next one is pledge of assets lost by the members. It cannot pledge the assets which have been lost by members. That is the fourth prohibitions: PA, BP, partnership, advertisement, brokerage, pledge. But for advertisement, there is an exception given. Like if the Nidhi is doing any private circulation details of fixed deposit scheme, if the Nidhi is circulating any private circulation or details of fixed deposit scheme among its members, and the circulation shall clearly states that this is only for private circulation to members only, then such advertisement is permitted here, right? And coming to the next one, that is our membership. Membership, the number of members in the Nidhi company shall be 200% or more. And not to be admitted as a member, the following persons cannot be admitted as a member. There is a shortcut here, BTM. BTM layout in Bangalore. You can remember that BTM. Not to be admitted as a member, that is body corporate, trust, minor. However, the minor guardian can be a member. That is deposit by a member as a guardian in the name of the minor is permitted. Minor can't be the member of the Nidhi, but guardian can be the member, right? And coming to the next one is share capital and allotment. What is the minimum allotment to each deposit holder, and what is the minimum allotment to the savings account holder and recurring deposit account holder? That in the restrictions, one point we have missed, that is the Nidhi company cannot open current account. It can only open savings account, recurring deposit account, normal deposit account. See, and coming to our topic, that is share capital and allotment. The minimum allotment to each deposit is 10 equity shares. Deposit holder is 10 equity shares or shares equivalent to rupees 100. And also the minimum shareholding of savings account holder and recurring deposit account holder is 1 equity share of rupees 10. And the face value of the equity share rupees shall not be less than rupees 10. That means it shall be 10 rupees or more. And the shares issued shall be fully paid up. Right? The service charges on the issue of shares is prohibited. Right? What is this? That again we'll see. The minimum allotment to each deposit is 10 equity shares or shares equivalent to rupees 100. To the savings account holder or recurring deposit account holder, it is 1 share of rupees 10. Right? And coming to the next one, there is minimum number of members, net owned funds criteria. The compliance required by every Nidhi Rule 5 means the Nidhi has been incorporated. Within 1 year of the incorporation, it has to comply with the following things. What are the things? Not less than 200 members. The Nidhi company shall have not less than 200 members. That is 200 members or more members. And unencumbered term deposits of not less than 10% of the outstanding deposits. What are these unencumbered term deposits? The unencumbered means not having any burden or not having any burden means that deposit doesn't have any burden to repay immediately. That should be 10% of the deposits, outstanding deposits. And also net owned funds of rupees 10 lakhs or more, and the ratio of net owned funds to deposit is 1:20, right? And net owned funds we have seen in 2 other cases, that is our NBFC and asset reconstruction of SARFAESI chapter. The net owned funds criteria there is 100 crores, but here is 10 lakhs. That should be remembered. And also one more thing here, application by Nidhi to the regional director for extension of time. See, within 1 year it has to compare it, but the Nidhi can make an application to the regional director on the basis on the further 2 non-compliances, means 1 and 4. What is 1? That is our not less than 200 members limit and net owned funds ratio 1:20. If the Nidhi has not complied with these 2 funds within 1 year, it can make an application to the regional director for extension of time. What is the requirement? Make an application to the regional director in form NDH2 for extension of time within 30 days from the close of first financial year. Means from the incorporation in the first financial year within 30 days, if it has not been complied, then it has to file that extension of time application in NDH2 within 30 days from the close of first financial year. It is at the discretion of the regional director to give extension. The maximum extension can be given is 1 year. Right? And consequences where non-compliances extends beyond second financial year, means even in the first financial year that the compliance has been not done, and even in the second financial year that 4 compliances are there, 200 members, 1:20 ratio, and net owned funds 10 lakh, unencumbered deposit 10%, those have not been compared even in the second financial year, then the Nidhi shall not accept any further deposit from the commencement of second financial year till it complies with 4 conditions. Like it shall be liable for penal consequences as provided in this act. That is the case of non-compliance of this. In the second non-compliance, even this beyond the second financial year, in commencement of the second financial year, it has to stop accepting deposits. That is the case. And we have some other points in Nidhi. That is provisions relating to the directors. What are the provisions relating to the directors? Disqualifications. What are the provisions relating to directors are? Disqualifications of directors are same as per section 164, and it has to comply with 152(4). That is, the director shall have done under such other prescribed conditions. And also, director must be a member. Means the director to be a person to be director of a nidhi, he must be a member of the nidhi. And the maximum term of that person is 10 years, and the cooling period is 2 years. Means after 10 years, he has to be kept aside for 2 years. That means cessation of office. He cannot be director for 2 years, and after that he can be reappointed again for 10 years. Right? If any tenure has been extended by the central government, then the tenure will be deemed that after expiry only. If that has other than 10 years, the central government has any extended the tenure, then the tenure will be the such tenure, right? And coming to the provisions relating to the dividend, for dividend relating, there are the maximum rate of dividend that a company can declare is 25%. That is, Nidhi company can declare is 25%. If it wants to declare anything beyond 25%, it has to comply these things. The regional director approval, that is our boss approval, shall be obtained, and equal amount is transferred to the general reserve, and also no default in while repayment of deposits and its respective interest, and all the rules have been compared. What are the rules if it wants to give more than 25% as dividend? That is approved by the regional director, that is our boss, and also equal amount shall be transferred to general reserve, and also no default in repayment of matured deposits and interest, and all rules have been complied. And coming to this next one, that is auditor wala part. The appointment and reappointment of auditor, individual 1 term of 5 consecutive years, 2 terms of 5 consecutive years, everything same, but only one exception is here. The cooling period is 2 years, right? The cooling period for Nidhi companies is 2 years. And coming to the auditor's certificate, every year the auditor has to give certificate regarding the compliance of these rules to be attached to the audit report. In case of non-compliance, disclosed as to rules which have not been complied. Which rules have not been complied, the auditor has to disclose. This is the auditor's certificate. And there is a penalty for this non-compliance. If any rules have not been complied, then the company and every officer of the company shall be liable to penalty up to rupees 5,000 or 500 per day for the continuous default. Right? These are the Nidhi rules we have discussed. Right. But we have missed 2 points. That is, firstly, we have discussed that notice the central government may by notification direct that any of the provisions of the tax shall not apply to this or shall apply such an exceptions. Right. That point, that notification shall be presented in the both houses of parliament while it is in session for total period of 30 days, which may be compromised in one session or in 2 or more consecutive sessions, unless it is approved by both the houses of the parliament. Then such notification will not have any effect. That is one point we have missed. And other point is that is general restrictions and prohibitions point, that is relating to the Nidhi company cannot acquire company by purchase of securities or control of composition of board of directors of any company in any manner whatsoever, or enter into any arrangement for change of its management unless it is passed a special resolution in the general meeting and also obtained the previous approval of regional director having jurisdiction of such Nidhi. Means the Nidhi company has a restriction, it cannot purchase the shares of any company, and it can become the acquire another company, and also it cannot control the composition of board of directors, and also it cannot change its management of other company unless 2 conditions are there. It has to first pass special resolution in the general meeting, and also it has to take prior approval of regional director, that is our boss. Right? This is all about Nidhi. We have covered each and every point in Nidhi company. That's it.